Hello and welcome to today's live English lesson. So sorry I'm late. I uh, technical problems and I don't know why. Just the way it is at the moment. Sometimes with YouTube, there was no reason for it not to connect, but of course I suppose one has to expect some problems some of the time. But I'm here. Welcome, good afternoon, welcome to today's lesson. I hope you're all doing well. It is it's a Tuesday afternoon. We are looking at causative structures, and we're going to get into that as soon as possible. Apologies if you struggled to find the link. Apologies if you were here at 3:30 waiting to join the lesson, but you couldn't. Like I said, for some reason, there were some unfortunate technical difficulties. But anyway, let's get into it. If this is your first time here, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you always like and share the video. I really hope that I can upload a video tomorrow. The next two videos I'm excited about in terms of our short video series. I'd like to complete that series, to be honest. It will be the type of series whereby you can go through everything that you need to know. So if you miss a lesson, or if you have even if you've attended the lesson but you're still not quite sure how to use something, you could go to the short video playlist. You could click on the language point that you're looking for, and you'd be able to watch the explanation of what it is, how to use it, and all the rest of it. So that's what I'm looking forward to the next two. Irina F, hello, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you are doing well. So, causative structures. This isn't something that everybody will necessarily learn when they start learning English. A causative structure is something that you might learn at a higher level, for example. But I think there's something worth looking at in all this. Now, it's an English grammar point, and let's look at the first thing, okay? The first thing that we're going to look at is form, okay? That's what we're first going to look at. And then from there, we'll end up having a few activities where you guys have to recreate the structure properly. But it's quite an important structure to know. So let's look at the first type of form. I'm going to get straight into it because I am late. So the first type is this: have plus object plus verb in the third form past participle. And you're talking about have something done. Alida, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. Thank you so much for joining. So what am I talking about when we look at a structure like this? We'll be looking at something. This would be an example of this. Good afternoon, Evelina. Welcome to today's lesson. Good afternoon, Alejandra, and hello, Alida as well. Buenos dias, where you are from. Buono pomeriggio, Evelina, Leondina. Buenas tardes, Alejandra. And good afternoon, Irina F. Sorry, I've forgotten what good afternoon is in Russian. Francesca, good afternoon. Bom dia. There you go. There's a bit of language there. So, so here, this is what we're looking at here. Just to remind you guys, okay, here, it's causative structure, okay? This is a causative structure, okay? So in this case, we've got have plus object plus the verb. It's kind of strange. We're not going for the classic subject, verb, object. Here, we're going to put the object in between. We're kind of breaking it up a little bit. We're breaking up imagine you've got a past participle. Actually, sorry, imagine you're creating a present perfect. but you're going to put the object in between the present perfect. But this is because you have something done, such as they had their car repaired, for example. They had their TV fixed. You're always fitting in the object in between here. We had something done. Well, if you want to go for something like this, you could even say we had our car. We had our car. Oh, we could have this. We had our car stolen. You could go for something like this. You can see there's an element here of a passive voice coming into this as well, for those of you who have looked at the passive. But this is the structure. So you've got this kind of present perfect, but we're putting the object in the middle. We're breaking it up. Check task. Like ticking off a list. Kind of, potentially. It'd be like this. The question might be, for example, did you manage to fix the problem with your car, for example? And the answer, okay, to the question would be, yes, thank you. We had it, it being the object, the car, we had it fixed on the weekend. Okay, so there could be a bit of a checklist potentially, but not a future checklist. It's things that you needed to do in the past. Again, you could say, for instance, I had my essay marked by the teacher. There is another example. I had my essay marked by the teacher. You're saying that something was done. You're kind of introducing elements of the passive voice, sure. But like I said, this is a causative structure. You're saying that effectively here, you are saying something was done. That's the point, okay? So I'm now going to put some sentences out here that Alida says you can use get instead of have. In this case, no. In this case, no. We aren't going to go for get. When we use a causative structure, we're always going to have, has, or had. Okay, you need to stick the have element, the auxiliary verb. We're not going to change. We're not going to remove have at this point. We want to try and avoid that for now. I mean, it's not to say that it's impossible. Okay, I'm going to say this. It's not impossible because, yes, you could replace it with get and you still have a similar meaning. But normally with causative structures, you don't. Normally, you stick to have. Okay, so let's see. Before we go further, Francesca, this is about reported speech. No, this isn't necessarily reported speech. If I want to add an element of reported speech, Francesca, I would have to say, she said, okay, she said that they had their car fixed on the weekend. See what I have to do there? Francesca, if I wanted to make it reportive, I would have to have something like she said, he told. I'd have to start, I would have to introduce that type of language. In this case, we're not necessarily introducing the reported speech element. Okay, so I have my essay marked. Let's see how we do, because there is another, there's another structure that we can look at with this. So let's just start off with the first structure, okay, of this causative structure. Like I said, this is something that you guys would usually learn at a slightly higher level. You wouldn't learn this at a pre-intermediate or intermediate level. You might learn this at an upper intermediate or even advanced level. But in our daily live videos, I am pulling in things that you guys are learning at all levels across the week. So you guys will look at things that people are doing at pre-intermediate, and you'll also look at things that people are doing at upper intermediate. It's one of the advantages of the daily live English lessons. You get to see different language points, and you build up your exposure to the language. So let's have a little look, okay? I'm going to write something like this, and you have to put these words in the correct order, okay? So I might write something like, okay, so you might see this, a jumbled sentence, okay? Had fixed car, I might. So then for the answer would then be, I had my car fixed, okay? That would then be the correct answer. So that's what you guys need to do. That is the activity. Let's have a go at trying to do this, okay? In this case, guys, we are looking at this meaning. I should just tell you, the meaning that we're going for here at the moment is the causative here is used when arranging for someone to do something for us. Okay, so this, for example, is especially when we are looking at having things fixed. So those of you living in the apartments, for example, you're living in an apartment, you need something fixed. This is the language you go with. So let's have a little look. Okay, B. Yeah, let's go with that. C. And let's go with D. Okay, let's see how you guys do. So you need to think, don't forget, guys, the structure: have, object, and then you have your past participle, and then maybe other elements of your sentence. Here, the causative here is used when arranging for someone to do something for us. Okay, something's I mean, this would be used a lot with workmen. And then you're telling someone about it. So let's say you are staying in an apartment and you phone the people who are looking after you. You are living in an apartment. You call the landlord, landlady, and you say, I need this to be fixed. So they send someone round, they fix it, and then they call and see, so is everything okay? Does the AC work? And you would say, yes, thank you. We had the AC, so on and so forth, yesterday. Okay. So Alida says, A, I had the cooker repaired last week. B, we had the AC mended. C, we had the locks changed. And D, I had my computer set up. Okay, if you agree with Alida, let me know. Francesca has written A, I had the cooker repaired last week. So that's the same answer as Alida. You're off to a good start. Keep this coming. I don't want to move too quickly. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page with this one. Leodina says, A, I had the cooker repaired last week. B, we had the AC mended. C, we had instead of looks, the locks changed. D, yes, thank you, I had my computer set up. Evelina says that she agrees with the leader. Okay, guys, I mean, this is looking really good. This is language that you will need to have actually in the summer, especially if anything goes wrong in the apartments, like the AC, the air conditioner. We had the AC mended. Excellent, Francesca. Yes, that's the correct answer. You can see you've got things like fixed, you've got a synonym, mended, you've got another synonym, repaired. Fixed, mended, repaired. All three words mean the same thing. So make a note of that. Good, excellent. Well done, guys. You're off to a really good start. And I'm happy to say those are the correct, you all got the correct answers, okay? We had the locks changed. Excellent. Yes, absolutely. Okay, I'm really pleased here because I know that we've got mixed levels watching. Some people of a higher level, some people of a lower level, and you're all following really well. So we're off to a really, really good start. Now, let's move on then to the second type of structure. Okay, so we're now going to go with this. So the second form, okay? Have plus object plus infinitive. Here again, you're having something done. So instead of the past participle, it's now the infinitive. So how might this look like? What would this look like? That's correct, Francesca, from the previous one. Correct, well done. So for the next one, you would have this, okay? I had my haircut yesterday. I had my haircut yesterday. Obviously here, we're going with something quite interesting, which is, again, I went to the hairdresser. That's precisely what we mean. So let's have a little look at this. Let's go with another example. Okay, one second. Yep, 1 second. Okay. So let's have a look at this. Okay, Again, this is following now the second structure. You've got have or had in this case. You've got the object, my manager, and then you've got the infinitive, look at the problem. I had my manager look at the problem. We had our lawyer assess the claim, for example, which means to look at the claim. She had her friend help her with her homework. She had her friend help her. No, let's go with something slightly different. She had her friend look at her homework. She had her friend look at her homework. Okay. So we're now going for this kind of interesting structure. So this is the alternative version. Here we're now using the infinitive form. So we have, I had my manager look at the problem. We had our lawyer assess the claim. This is still the past, by the way. And she had her friend look at her homework. Now, here you will notice we're not going with the structure of the past participle, which would make this some kind of a past perfect. This is now just a simple past. Okay. So let's now have a little look at this second type of structure. Same as before. Okay. So here's again, we're talking about someone. And when it comes to the meaning of this, we're having someone do something. This is an important point here, okay? We have someone do something. So let's have a look. Same sort of, okay, as before. So example, we might have something like had sister his look at it. Okay, and then the answer here would be he had his sister look at it. Okay, he had his sister look at it. Okay, kind of strange when you think about this sort of structure. I had my manager look at it. He had his sister look at it. Okay, this would be something, for instance, at the doctor's. In fact, I'm going to now, at this point, I'm going to introduce this as a service. Okay, so we're going to look this in terms of a service, in terms of accounting, slash medical slash legal. Okay, so let's have a go. Okay, B. Okay, C. Okay, let's have a look at that. So here we've got 3. A, I looked doctor my had at it. B, we our had assess lawyer problem there. And C, he numbers count. Oh, that should be accountant. Sorry, accountant. Let me just do that again. Okay. So Francesca says, I had my doctor look at it. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Francesca. Off to a good start. Let's see what the others come in with. And my doctor look at it. Alida says, B, we had our lawyer assess the problem, and C, he had his accountant look at the numbers. Okay, thank you very much, Alida. Leondina says, I had my doctor look at it. We had our lawyer assess the problem, and he had his accountant look at the numbers. Okay, guys, this is very, very good. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing over here. If you agree with them, let me know. And then I just want to make a little comparison. We need to think about the type of service. The type of service is going to change whether we're going to use the first or the second type of structure. Excellent, Francesca. And Evelina agrees. Okay, guys, let me show you the correct answers. Well done. You guys are 100% right. Correct. Excellent. Well done. Really, really good. I'm very pleased with this. So now just want to make a sit to show you, okay, when do we use which option do we use? So option one, and then I will always structure one. Okay, so causative. Okay, this is option one. Just to remind you guys, this is something to do with something like this. They had their car repaired. Here, yes, you're talking about a service, but if you've had a service whereby something has effectively been fixed in some way, okay? Something is broken and you want it fixed. So you're going to use the past participle one when you're going to have something fixed. Francesca says, see, he had the numbers accountant look at it. Oh, close, Francesca. He had the accountant look at the numbers. Okay. That was the correct answer there. So he had his accountant look at the numbers. Very close, Francesca. Not far. I mean, you've done very, very well. Okay. He had his accountant look at the numbers. Yeah, that would be the correct one for C. So option one, okay, causative structure one, have plus object plus the past participle. This is about having something done. And a really good way to remember is you've had something fixed, okay, or something has been fixed. For causative structure two, okay, you're no longer talking about something being physically fixed. You're going to use this for a slightly different context, okay? And here you're going to use this for again a service, and this type is going to be a different type of service, a service where you need a professional to look at a problem. This is not something that you fix just like this. You know, it's not like an electrician. Here you are looking at something, well, like what we've just done over here. For instance, I had my doctor look at it. Okay, so these are just some examples of how you can remember in terms of using them, which one you should use. So let's now go for the final one. You guys now need to decide what the structure should be, okay? Depending on the service. That's a good way of thinking about it. Okay, we're going to do 4. Let's see how you do, okay? A. So, which structure is correct? Okay, which structure should we use, okay? A. So you might see something like this. Okay, had nurse look. What you then need to do is create the answer, which is I had the nurse look at it, for example. So you then complete the activity like this. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go with fixed. C. D. And finally, E. Okay, let's see how you guys go. You've got B, C, D, and E. Okay, 2 need to be completed in causative structure 1. And 2 need to be completed in causative structure 2. Let's see what you guys come out with. You've got B, C, D, and E. So like I said, I mean, these causative structures are very good, very useful. They're going to be used, especially when you're looking at a service of some kind. And that's when you would use them. That's why they're very useful. Here, all there are examples are to do with the past, because it's the most likely time we would use them, unless you're going to make a suggestion for the future, such as you should have your accountant look at it, for example, which is an option. But let's see what you guys come out with. You've got B, C, D, E. Okay. In the meantime, okay, so Alida says B, I had my oven fixed. C, I had my accountant look at it. D, I had my lawyer assess the cause. And E, I had my boiler mended by the electrician. Okay, I like those sentences. Okay, if you agree with the leader, let me know. If you've got slightly different answers, also let me know. I mean, look, these are 2 very useful things that structures that just make a really big difference. And there's lots of other sort of situations you could try and use them in. I would say it's really important to get into the habit of trying to use these structures. Don't be afraid about making a mistake. Mistakes are good. They help the learning process. So I would suggest just have a go, even in class. Just have a go, even if you haven't looked at it. Have a go, come out with it. See what the reaction is. Your teacher will probably help you if it's not off topic, for example. try and take advantage of your environment, so you actually really practice speaking English. So Francesca says, B, I had oven fixed. You're just forgetting my there. You're just forgetting my. I had my oven fixed. See, I had accountant look at it again. Very good, Francesca. You're just forgetting my, the pronoun. I had my accountant look at it. D, I had my lawyer assess the problem. There, that's correct. That's 100% correct. And you've included my. And finally, I had the electrician mended. Mended. Ooh, I had the electrician mended. Then it sounds like you're saying that the electrician was broken, not the electricity. You would have to say, I had something mended by the electrician, or I had my electrician. If you go with the job title, then you're going to have to change it actually to option 2. I had my electrician look at it. I think that's quite an important other distinction to make, which I'll tell you here now. So here are the answers. Okay, so structure 1, final bit of feedback here. Okay, causative structure 1. Okay, have plus object, and here the object is a thing, not a person. Okay, plus past participle. I had the boiler fixed. Okay, you can see the object is not a person. Causative structure 2, have plus object. Now the object in this case is a person plus infinitive, and that's a really big difference. So another way to remember this, and I would say it's probably the grammatical way of remembering this, you use structure 2 if the object is going to be a person. If it's a thing, no, not a person, then it's going to be a past participle. Okay, so I hope you can all see that pattern now. Okay, so if the object is a person, you go with causative structure 2. I had my doctor look at it. Doctor is a person. You use causative structure 1 if you're talking about a thing and not a person. I had my TV fixed. Okay, and that's probably the best way to remember, better than the first thing I suggested actually, because this is the grammatical way of remembering it. Leondine says, can we use this structure in other tenses or the verb have? Yeah, you can use it in the future. For example, you should have your doctor look at it, for example. You could use it like this. You should have the TV fixed. Okay, so here we're now using it to give advice. Again, if I want to go into the future, I'll have my doctor look at it. Okay, this is now in the future. I'll have the car fixed tomorrow. Okay, so you can use this in other tenses. You can use this in the future. Just remember, if it's the object, as like a car, something that is not a person, then you use the past participle. If the object is a person, a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, a teacher, then you go with the infinitive form. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you have found this very informative. It's a very useful bit of language to know. And if you're of a low level and you managed, like Francesca, really well done, because this is not easy. This is something you've learned at a higher level. But you need to speak. You need to activate the language. A big thank you to Leondina. Lovely to see you again. Thank you, Francesca. Thank you, Elida. Thank you, Evelina, as well. And thank you, Irene F, as well, as always. And thank you, Alejandra, for watching and participating in the chat section. And everyone else watching as well. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Alejandra says, Alida says, thanks, Richard. See you tomorrow. Take care. You too. Yandina says, thank you, Richard. Have a nice evening. You too. Evelina says, I have a great evening. Oh, you have a great evening. Great. If you want to wish someone else to have a good, if you wish someone else a good evening, then you would drop the I and just say, have a good evening or have a great evening. You too, Francesca, and you as well, Alejandra. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow, same time, with another live English lesson. Bye for now.